occupying the space for a little while. It's okay, just come on in. It's hot, man. I tell you, it's fucking hot, but well, you just fight it. You deal with it, right? Come on in, man. Welcome. We're just occupying some time. Just come on in. Everybody's welcome. That's the wonderful thing. We don't exclude anybody here. Fortunate born! What does that mean? I don't know. Man, close that door, man. You gotta close that. Oh yeah, this is it. You guys remember this one? Oh shit, I love Neil Young. I mean, no offense to Muhammad, but I believe like Neil Young was the last prophet. Oh man, I've been here every single day. They call me Occupy Pete. I've been here every single day. But you gotta donate just a little bit of time to humanity. Because nobody's doing that anymore, man. It's always about me. Not we, right? Well, it's not really a free world anymore, right? I mean, I don't know what you are, you know, Democrat or Republican, but I think there's something we can all agree on right now, man. Man, it's been wonderful. It's like you meet so many different type of people by being here. It's like I met all you guys. Oh, who is it? Hey, welcome in, come on in! Join us! We are peaceful, we are not violent. Join us. See, that's the thing, you can't listen to the media. Because once again, how do you spell it? M-E? It should be media, man. But all they do is they report what they want you to hear. I don't think that's right. Doesn't matter if it's FOX or CNN or ABC. They're all owned by the same people. I don't know if you knew that. Go check it out. Keep on rocking in the partially free world. Keep on walking in the once used to be free world. Yeah, man, you should take a look at that. I don't know if you remember that. That was cool, man. What did they do? But they adjusted the first one. Nothing with the Second Amendment yet, that's odd. But the first one, the fourth one, the 6th, the 7th, the 9th, and the 10th Amendment of the Bill of Rights have all been adjusted within the last 10 years. Check it out. Look it up. Man, I love Los Angeles. I lived here all my life. I don't know if you know, I'm Occupy Pete. So people, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, yeah! Come on in, friends! Welcome! Come on in, have a seat! Everybody is welcome here. Man, I'm so glad you guys all made it out here to City Hall Park. It's great. I've been here every single day. You know who isn't here though? That's the ironic thing. We've got black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, poor, of all types. The mayor hasn't been here, man. Where's the mayor? Where's the governor? I ain't seen the president here. Media? It's so funny, man, the way that they report us, it's like, you know, they say these homeless people, these all this talent's been popping. I ain't homeless. I got a job. I got a family. What are they talking about, man? Who are these people? Now, granted, I did smell some weed in the back. If that's the worst thing that's happening, man, shit, call the cops. No, don't, man. You need them here. It's really ironic. Have you ever looked at a police car? On the side, it says to serve and to protect. Shit, man, I don't know who they're doing that for, but it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate born. Welcome, friend. Come on in. Join us all. Get right in. It's Occupy time. I mean, okay, now you're gonna hear these lyrics a lot. You're gonna hear the same sentence again and again and again. But I'm telling you, they're deeper than just that. Listen, what we're saying, just give it a chance. That's the thing. We used to give it a chance. Now we just write it off, man. I don't get it. Well, you are fucking welcome to sit up here, my friend. We need to come together. That's the thing. We're not looking out for each other. That's why I'm just gonna throw this out here. When it comes time to like baseball and sporting events, and they play the national anthem, we're supposed to cover our heart. Man, now I just cover my wallet. Man, a chance. But it's beautiful out here, man. Be out here, City Hall Park. It's a beautiful day. But even when it rains, Occupy Pete is here. Those people in the back? Oh yeah, they're the inner sanctum. Those 50? Yeah, they're organizers, if you will. Yeah, they're the ones singing and chanting. They're good people. The guy in the red, with his back to us? Yeah, his name's Patrick Meehan. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He writes for Family Guy. Yeah, that one. Oh man, it's a funny show. A lot of boob jokes, but it's funny, man. Anyways, yeah, he's the one with the Thich Nhat Hanh book, Being Peace. Yeah, they're surrounding that tent. He bought that tent, him and his family, and they donated it here. That tent has been helping us with medical conditions. If people get heat stroke or cuts or dust or whatever, man, that's where we go. And you know how much it costs? A smile. Yeah. It's not about money. It's about helping each other. Now granted, I'm not just saying give peace a chance. I'm saying some other things. I'm going to be saying a whole bunch of things. And I'm only going to say this once and maybe one other time. And everything that I'm going to say is the truth. You can look it up. No exaggerations. 100% truth. That might be the scariest thing of all. Yeah, man, welcome. Come on in. Yeah, sit right there, man. Sit anywhere you want. That's the thing. Occupy. It's not about committing crimes. It's not about not doing work. It's just about bringing awareness. Not enough awareness, right? Met a lot of cool people, and that's what you do. You talk to people. Because what else is there, right? You go to your job. You do a bunch of things for other people. To pay for stuff that other people want you to own. That kind of really owns you. And then what do? You go home. You can't enjoy your stuff. Because there's other stuff trying to get in your head. And that's your life, right? Man, think back to when you were little. Think back to when you were little. What did you want to do? Were you doing that? Think back 10 years. Think back 20 years. Think back 30 years. What were you doing? What are you doing now? Anyways, well, John and Oko aren't talking to me anymore. So, I've just got to say it's a wonderful day. Here we are, City Hall Park. I'll be honest, you know, one thing that does upset me a little bit, there's one person that should be here who isn't. His name is Charles Prince. You don't know Charles Prince? Shit. Charles Prince, he's the guy that basically saw the bubble and went pop. The reason that we have furlough days, Charles Prince. The reason that your 401k went like this, Charles Prince. He was the CEO of Citigroup. Yeah, those people. Yeah. Well, anyways, what he would do is him and his company, they would buy a bunch of bad mortgages. Then they would bundle them up together. Then they would find suckers and chumps, and they would sell these bundled bad mortgages to people. And they'd be thinking, oh wow, I'm gonna make millions and billions of dollars. And the other people would go, oh, I'm gonna make millions and billions of dollars. Then you know what happened? Everybody lost their money, except for Charles Prince. He got a $94 million bonus for doing that to all of us. It's true. Anyways, that's right, we're here. Shit, man. Police. Oh, they dress nice. Hey guys, we got some police. They're dressed in SWAT. Hey, we're peaceful. We're non-violent. Come join us. Hey, we're peaceful. We are non-violent. But come join us. There's room, man. We're peaceful. We're non-violent. Why don't you come join us? Ah! Ah! What are you doing? Ah! Ah! I'm an American! I'm an American! Drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to, and the first and the last words out of your filthy sewers will be sir. Do you maggots understand that? Sir. Yes, sir. Bullshit! Sound off like you have a pair. Sir! Yes, sir! If you ladies leave my island, if you survive recruit training, you will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on Earth. You're not even human fucking beings. You are unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. There is no racial bigotry here. Here, you are all equally worthless. 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 I joined the Army 2 days after the 9/11 attacks. I joined the Army because our country had been attacked. I wanted to strike back at those that killed some 3,000 of my fellow citizens. I did not join the Army to go to Iraq, a country that had nothing to do with the September 2001 attacks and did not pose a threat to their neighbors, much less the United States of America. I did not join the Army to liberate Iraqis, or to shut down mythical weapons of mass destruction facilities, or to implant what the president cynically calls democracy in Baghdad and the Middle East. I especially did not join the Army to carry out preemptive war. Preemptive war is illegal under international law. And as soldiers in Iraq, we were aiding and abetting their crimes. I did not join the Army to rebuild Iraq, which at the time they told us could be paid for through the use of Iraqi oil revenue. Instead, this war has cost over $3 trillion. What would you do with $3 trillion? I don't know. What would you do with $3 trillion? I don't know. What would you do with $3 trillion? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In only 10 years, the United States of America spent over $3 trillion on an imaginary war. When you think about it, what could we have done in 10 years with $3 trillion? How about basic education for all 2.2 billion children on Earth? Did everybody or anybody say basic social services for all 7 billion people? You know what you can do with $3 trillion over 10 years? You can give every single man, woman, and child in America $10,000. Let them decide what to do with it, right? Here's a weird one. With $3 trillion in 10 years, we could have sent a peacekeeping force into Darfur and stopped the genocide from happening on our watch. Here's an awesome one. We could have water and sanitation for all 7 billion people on Earth. Water and sanitation for every single human being. Instead, we spent it on one war. This one affects me and maybe some of you. With $3 trillion over 10 years, we could pay for every single student's student debt. No more students. Woo! Good morning, Hollywood Fringe. I'm Jolene with the morning announcements. Today is Saturday, March 23rd, 2013. It is the 10-year or 120-month, 520th week, or 3,652nd day that the United States invaded Iraq. Today's positive action word is hindsight. It is a noun. Understanding of a situation or an event only after it has happened or occurred. Because of recent developments and revelations that the government is spying on its citizens, the school library will now be moving the novels Brave New World, 1984, and most of the work of Philip K. Dick from sci-fi and fantasy to self-help and do-it-yourself. Also, as a result, all emails sent from school computers must now be addressed Dear NSA, FBI, CIA, Mr. or Mrs. President, and then the name of the person whose actual fucking business it is. Excuse me. Sorry. Because of recent actions by Charles Prince, former CEO of Citigroup, there will be 4 extra furlough days added on to this year's semester. As a result, this will cause inconvenience, extra costs, child endangerment, stress, and loss of education. But only for the poor kids, so it's okay. Today's Hollywood Fringe science fact: a group of baboons is known as a congress. This is true, a congress of baboons. On a side note, I think it's ironic that a group of hairy, smelly, shit-tossing primates is known as congress. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't swear, we're little kids. Alright. Because of the amount of garbage produced every day that ends up in our oceans, over 36,000 tons, or twice the size of Texas, the United Nations has recognized the planet's 194th nation-state. It is now called Garbage Patch. As a result, there is an opening in the Model UN Club for a Garbage Patch Kid. Today's lunch will consist of pink slime, a side of genetically manipulated organisms, and sugar and carbohydrates. Brought to you by Monsanto, the creators of the first nuclear bombs dropped over Japan. Agent Orange, DDT, mad cow disease, and GMOs. That's what I'm having for lunch. I want that. The following is a list of countries that have banned and removed Monsanto. Austria, Bulgaria, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Japan, Luxembourg, Madeira, New Zealand, Peru, South Australia, Russia, France, and Switzerland. Luckily, the United States has not banned or removed Monsanto. In fact, President Obama recently appointed Michael Taylor, the Vice President, Attorney, and Chief Lobbyist for Monsanto. Yes, the same Monsanto that developed nuclear warheads, Agent Orange, DDT, mad cow disease, and now in charge of our food, as the senior advisor to the Commissioner of Foods for the Federal Drug Administration. At the same time, the President's wife was seen encouraging me to eat healthy. Oh, finally, ladies and gentlemen, please submit to the Republicrat irrational anthem. I pledge allegiance to the reverse flag of the divided states of America, and under the oligarchy for which it stands, one nation, under greed, divided with liberty and justice for the rich, forever and ever. Amen. I close my eyes and I look away into the magic night. I'm softly saying a silent prayer like dreamers do, and I'm all sleeping. Republicans and the Democrats. Thou shalt have no other gods before me, except for money. Thou shalt not make any graven images of God, except for millions of pictures of a white Jesus. A well-fondled acolyte. A well-fondled acolyte being necessary to the hypocrisy of the church. The right of the clergy to keep and bear false witness shall not be infringed. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord God in name, goddammit. Remember the Sabbath by getting drunk and watching football. Honor thy father and thy mother, unless they, you know, just don't get it. Thou shalt not commit adultery, unless she's really, really, really hot. Thou shalt not steal from the rich. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's crib. And finally, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt have unmanned drones kill for you. Charts from Chartsworth. I run your local chart store. Anyway, me and my family, we must be moving back to Dusseldorf. The economy is, how you say, it's in the Schitzenkrabber. And so as a result, we have to close down our chart store. Anyways, we have a big closing going out of business sale. Oh, here we go. This is a very nice chart. You may have seen this on the CNN, the Capitalist News Network. And if you take a look, this is a very interesting chart. Over here, this is all the drone strikes in Pakistan that were done by Sir George Bush. Oh, such a good man, right? So strong and brave, accomplished missions. Yes. Oh, but then I got very scared because then there was this man named Obama and he was going to change things and I got so very, very worried. But if you look at this chart, look at all these drone strikes that have been happening under President Obama. All these people are little children and innocent people who've been killed. Whew. For a moment there, I thought there was going to be change. Oh, well, here's another good one. Over here. This might be a little hard to see. You may have to come a little bit closer at the end of the show, but that is okay. Charlie Johnson likes that. Trudeau. This, slightly used, but this is a chart of the 2012 presidential candidates. Now over here you had all the different things that they talked about that were important to the American people. The First Amendment, legalized the marijuana. I used to it. Oh, there we go. We have war, healthcare, personal freedoms and privacy, financed by abortion, marriage equality, taxation, and education. Now, here are all the candidates. Now, what's funny is many people thought there was only 2 candidates. Oh, that's very funny. Because in reality, you had 7 candidates here in California. Yes, you did. Yes. Now, this is all color coordinated. And if you figured it out, President Obama and Mitt Romney, they share a lot of similarities. In fact, there's a rumor going around that they should be called Obami. It's very clever, because all these people here, they want freedom and free. I want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by letting the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. The Iraq War is the largest strategic blunder in U.S. history. It obliterated the balance of power in the Middle East. It installed a cruel and brutal pro-Iranian government in Baghdad, one cementing its power through the use of torture, terror, and death squads. And it has left Iran as the dominant force in the region. On every level, moral, strategic, military, economic, Iraq is a complete failure. And it was George Bush and Dick Cheney who started this goddamn war. It should be George Bush and Dick Cheney who pay the consequences. Vice President. To quote Tomas Young, positions of authority, your millions of dollars of personal wealth, your PR consultants, your prestige, and your power cannot mask the hollowness of your character. Do you care to respond? Well, you see, you sent them to fight and die in Iraq after you, Mr. Cheney, you dodged the Vietnam draft. You did. And you, Mr. Bush, you went AWOL from your National Guard unit. You see, your cowardice and your selfishness were established decades ago. But, okay, follow up. You would not risk yourselves for our nation, but you sent hundreds of thousands of young Americans to be sacrificed in a senseless war with no more thought than it takes to put out the garbage? Do you care to respond? Mr. Obama, there are still Americans in Iraq with weapons. That's war. Do you care to respond, Mr. Obama? Even now, I curse the day. And yet I think few come within the compass of my curse, wherein I did not some notorious ill is kill a man, or else devise his death by drone. Ravish a maid, or block the way to do it. Accuse some intern and forswear myself. Set deadly anonymity between two friends. Make poor men's cattle break their necks. Quote, a shoe. Set fire to barns and oil wells in the night, and bid Saddam quench them with your tears. Oft I have digged up dead men from their graves, and I have set them upright at their dear friends' doors, even after their sorrows almost was forgot. And on their skins, as on the bark of trees, have with my knife carved in Roman Catholic letters. Well, let not your sorrows die, though I am dead. Tut! I have done 1,000 dreadful things, as willingly as one would kill a fly, and nothing grieves me heartily indeed, but that I cannot do 10,000 more. and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking around. We're at intermission right now. And before the show, I asked a couple of you guys to write down some things. What could you do with $3 trillion over 10 years? I told you what we officially could have done, but I was curious what the average American was wondering. What could we do with $3 trillion over 10 years? If I had access to $3 trillion, I would change the world, starting with socially conscious theater and ending the Tea Party. Great. Awesome. Let's see, if I had access to $3 trillion, I would rehab Detroit's education system and neighborhoods. That's about $2 trillion. And then I would build, that's what they said. And then I would build and operate a something studio. So a dance studio. Maybe that's $1 million, $1 trillion. If I had access to $3 trillion, I would quit my job and give most of it to people who need it, like my parents. That's very nice. That's very good. Let's see what else. A couple other ones. I would save it for when it is really needed. Save that $3 trillion for a rainy day. I'm going to save the planet. Then go shopping. Awesome. We're getting better. That's better. Great. I would buy up all the private water companies and solve the water crisis, or put it towards that at least. Awesome. That's great. Let's see. I would pay off all my friends' student loans, and the rest, hookers and rainbows. Just a couple more. Let's see. If I had access to $3 trillion, I would give $1 trillion to charity, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Give $1 trillion to my family. Then keep the other $1 trillion under my mattress for a rainy day. Oh my goodness! You guys need to get together. All right. Let's see what we got here. If I had access to $3 trillion, I would like to see Brian do a bunch of magic tricks. Your wish is my command. For my very first trick, I'm going to need a $1 bill. Does anybody have a $1 bill? I am an actor in Los Angeles, so I do not have a $1 bill. All I need is a $1 bill. Thank you very much. This is good. The Friday show, nobody had a $1 bill. Well, thank you very much. Here we go. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you a little bit of magic. All right, first of all, this is the bank. All right. This is the bank. As you can see, nothing in there right now. Very good. All right. But then what happens is, you come along and you put your dollar in the bank. And we go abracabailout. Oh, look, inflation. Look at this. It used to cost $1 to do something. Now it's only 25 cents. All right, very good. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, I have another trick for you. Here's a very good trick. Here we are. This here, what we have here is we have nothing here. Nothing here. Oh, very good. Oh, we have a little blue pedal. Well, let's say that this is the money from the Democrats, right? It's blue, they like the color blue, so we're going to put it here. So let's say that these three things, this represents our Social Security, right? Every day we go to work, we work for other people, and then what happens is they take some of our money away. And then they say, don't worry, you're going to get it back. And he's like, okay, well, thank you very much. I'll take it right now. And they said, no, you get it later. All right, so here we go. So you know what, though? Those Democrats, they need that money right now, so we're just gonna not put that under there. You know what's there? Here we go. The Republicans. There we go. We get the red belt. So they're going to do something with our Social Security. So then and then, you know what? it's not really fair. They need that money right now. There's something happening. Okay, so you work every day, and your money is now, it's under one of these three, okay? So this is your money, your Social Security money. It's here we go, around they go. Where they stop, only Ben Bernanke knows. All right, so here we go, turning it all around. Great, so where is our Social Security? We're all very young people, and they say it's going to be there. So, which one? Is it this one? Yes, it's oh, no Social Security left. I'm so sorry. Okay, well, it's not that one. Well, then it must be one of these two, right? It has to be. They told us our Social Security is there. Well, so it's one of the... Okay, then, no, it's not in there. Well, then, we know where our Social Security is, right? We know it's right under there, right? Oh, they tell us it's there, so it must be there. All right, yes, ladies and gentlemen, governmental magic. Yes, I have one last trick for you. Oh, I know you guys like the card tricks. Oh, yes. Who doesn't like a good magical card trick? This is very good. Now, this is all the presidents of the United States. These are cards of all the presidents of the United States. I was inspired by this trick by David Copperfield when he made the Statue of Liberty disappear. And then a few years later, he made his career disappear. And I thought, I want to show them a magic trick. Very good. So here are our presidents that the United States has had. John Tyler, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Andrew Jackson, Chester A. Arthur, Richard Nixon, George Washington, Dollar Bill, James Madison, Gerald Ford, John Adams, Tyler. Who is this? This is James Garfield, William Taft, Harry S. Truman, Franklin Pierce, Benjamin Harrison, Grover Cleveland, president twice, but not consecutively. We had King George I, King George II, and King George III. We have Thomas Jefferson, prove me wrong, you can't. William McKinley, Franklin Roosevelt, Lyndon, whoa, see, you got me. Lyndon Johnson, who else do we have here? Richard Nixon, John Quincy Adams. Thank you very much. Andrew Johnson, Jimmy Carter, Rutherford B. Hayes, Teddy Roosevelt, Herbert Hoover, Woodrow Wilson, William Henry Harrison, Abraham Lincoln, Millard Fillmore, John F. Kennedy, Bill Clinton, our first black president, James Polk, James Buchanan, Zachary Taylor, James Monroe. Very good. And then we got this guy, Martin Van Buren. I'm going to put him over here. All these presidents right here that I just listed, ladies and gentlemen, they are all related to each other by birth or marriage. This is the only U.S. president that is not related to everybody else by birth or marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not democracy. This is a monarchy. I have just made democracy disappear! Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I write this letter on the 10th anniversary of the Iraq War on behalf of my fellow Iraq War veterans. I write this letter on behalf of the 4,488 soldiers and Marines who died serving in Iraq. I write this letter on behalf of the hundreds of thousands of veterans who have been wounded, and on behalf of those whose wounds, physical and psychological, destroyed their lives. I write this letter on behalf of the husbands and wives who lost a spouse, on behalf of the children who lost a parent, on behalf of the fathers and mothers who lost daughters and sons, and on behalf of those who care for the many thousands of my fellow veterans with brain injuries. I write this letter on behalf of the veterans whose traumas and self-revulsion for what they witnessed, for what they did, and what they endured in Iraq have led to suicide. behalf of those active duty soldiers and Marines who commit, on average, a suicide a day. I write this letter on behalf of the nearly 1 million Iraqi dead, and on behalf of the countless Iraqi wounded. I write this letter on behalf of us all, the human detritus your war has left behind, those who will spend their lives in unending pain and grief. I would not be writing this letter had I been wounded in Afghanistan, fighting against the forces that carried out the September 11th attacks. Had I been wounded there, I would still be miserable because of my physical deterioration and imminent death. But at least I would take comfort in the knowledge that my injuries were the consequence of my own decision to defend the country I love. I would not have to lie in my bed, my body filled with painkillers, my life ebbing away, and deal with the fact that hundreds of thousands of human beings, including children, including myself, were sacrificed for little more than the greed of oil companies, the alliances with oil sheiks in Saudi Arabia, and their insane vision of empire. I write this letter, my last letter, to you, Mr. Bush and Mr. Cheney. I write not because I think you grasp the terrible human and moral consequences of your lies, manipulation, and thirst for wealth and power. I write this letter because before my own death, I want to make it clear that I, along with hundreds of thousands of my fellow veterans, along with millions of my fellow citizens, and along with hundreds of millions more in Iraq and the Middle East, know fully who you are and what you've done. You may evade justice, but in our eyes, you are each guilty of egregious war crimes, of plunder, and finally of murder. The murder of thousands of young Americans, my fellow veterans whose futures you stole.
American Airlines DC-10 luxury liner flight 75 for Los Angeles and San Diego. Now ready for departure, 816. United Airlines flight 57. DC-10 ocean-to-ocean service to San Francisco. Now,
I have, like many other liberals, suffered under the inadequate and often inept care provided by the Democrat Party. I have, like many other conservatives, come to realize that our rights are of no concern to the Republican Party, perhaps of no concern to any politician anywhere. You make much pretense, Mr. President, about being a Christian, but isn't lying a sin? Isn't murder a sin? Aren't theft, selfish ambitions, sins? I am not a Christian, but I believe in the Christian ideal. I believe that what you do to the least of your brothers, you finally do to yourself. My day of reckoning is upon me, and yours will come. I hope that you will be put on trial, but mostly I hope for your own sakes that you will find the moral courage to face what you have done to me and many, many other people that deserve to live. Before my time on this earth ends, as hopefully yours will someday end, I hope you find the strength of character to stand before the American public and the world, and in particular, the people of Iraq, and beg for your forgiveness. stand, Allman. Of course I swear to tell the truth. Okay, yes, I was summoned by the police department on that day. Down to City Hall Park, yes. Well, no, it's really odd. Usually what happens is I get called by the police when there's a big master criminal or natural disaster. It was weird. I pulled up in my 2002 Hyundai, and it was weird. All I saw was a bunch of broth-sipping hippies. Well, then I know. Then what was really weird is behind them, there were thousands of police officers dressed in SWAT gear. And they came through and they started ripping up tents with these large knives. Women, children, elderly, they were screaming, they were scared by the people that were told to serve and protect. I just don't get it. They were dressed in paramilitary gear versus under 300 peace-loving people. The mayor said that that was the police officer's finest hour. I don't know, they were a bunch of Democrats and Republicans. You know, fuck it, I don't get it anymore. We're told to serve and to protect, to look out for each other. This is the land of opportunity. And you know, it could be. Maybe we could pull ourselves up by the bootstraps if you weren't standing on our necks. I don't get it. I found this letter just a couple months ago, and I thought, I'm going to turn it into a show. And it was the 10th anniversary of the Iraq War. We are now on the last day of Fringe. I don't know if you know, but I am aware of so many changes that have happened in just the last 2 months. It's not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's an American issue now at this point. We need to work together. And people say, what are you going to do, Brian? Are you going to start a new third party? I don't need to. We have plenty of them. Liberals and conservative. Look them up. What do you want, Brian? You want to be the king? You want to be the emperor? Now, I'm sorry. I don't want to be the emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there is room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and it can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world in hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. Oh, granted, we have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and we just feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life would be violent and all would be lost. The internet and the satellite have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness of man, cries out for the universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions of people throughout the world. Billions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that make men torture and imprison innocent people. To those that can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators, they'll die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. So long as Americans die, liberty will never perish. Citizens, don't give your votes to these brutes, candidates who despise you, enslave you. They regiment your lives. They tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel. They drill you. They diet you. They treat you like cattle. They use you as cannon fodder. Don't give your votes to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You're not cattle. You're Americans. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate. Only the unloved hate. The unloved and the unnatural. Citizens, don't vote for slavery. Vote for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written that the kingdom of God is within man. Not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men, in you, the people. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You have the power. You have the power to make this life free and beautiful. Then, in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world. A decent world that will give you the chance to work and the future of old age and security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill their promise. They won't. Dictators free themselves and they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world. To do away with barriers. To do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world where anything is possible. Citizens, in the name of hindsight,